Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be moving on to Unit 2, which is all about string manipulations using the force and math. Yes, more math, I know. It's not bad math though, it's pretty simple. But before we do that, we have to review what exactly strings are, right? So let's look at this, okay? I have a variable called x and I've reassigned it to multiple values multiple times, right? First, I assigned it to the number 7. Is it an integer, a boolean, or a string? If you said an integer, then you are correct. There are no quotation marks on it, right? So let's say if I put quotation marks on it, even though it is the number 7, the data type is a string because we have quotation marks on it. Okay? The next value that we assign it to is the value true. Now, as you can see, it's blue. It's completely different from like 7, which is green, and hello world, which is like orange, because it's a different variable type. What true is it's a boolean. I think you've only used booleans once when you're like checking for conditions if a condition is like true or false. But booleans are very helpful and are actually the basis of all programming, because what programming is just binary. It's like a flip of switches, ones and zeros, on and off. And yeah, when you take advanced courses, you'll understand what exactly is going on beneath your code. But that's just a digression. Let's look at what this hello world is. Now, we've already talked about integers, we've already talked about booleans, so this has to be a string, right? And yes, it is a string. And the reason it's a string is because we have the quotation marks around it, and because it contains letters and characters, okay? So now, what exactly are characters? They're like each individual letter, like capital H, E. And remember, capital H is different from lowercase h. So you have to make sure you know that. So like H-E-L-L-O, space. Space is very important. It's also a character. If I do this, right, it's completely different from this. Because if I print this, hello world, without any spaces, what do you think is going to print out? Exactly. There's no spaces. But now if I add a space, there's going to be a space. And this is very important when we talk about what concatenation is. And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. How to concatenate strings. Now, the word concatenation sounds really long. It took me a while to actually say it, right? You can think of it as adding two strings together. Like, for example, I have 3 words right here, right? I like 3 variables, word 1, word 2, and word 3, and they equal different things. Right now, I want to make the statement calf is awesome, because I am pretty awesome, you know? So let's see how we can do that. So print, right? Word 1, of course, because if you're just printing word 1, we're going to print out calf. Now, we have calf, we have awesome, we have boring, but we don't have is. What we can do is we can actually add it like this. So that's what concatenation is. It's adding. And yes, it's adding, it's math. I know some of you might not like math, but it's math with words. Isn't that more interesting than just math with numbers? We're adding calf, we're adding is, and we're adding awesome, which is word 2, to make a nice sentence. Calf is awesome. Now let's run this. Oh, there's no spaces. Why isn't there any spaces? Well, if you remember what I said before, the space between hello world was very important, because if we didn't have a space here, there wouldn't be a space in our string. So what do we have to do to add spaces between calf and is awesome? Or calf is and awesome. If you said add spaces right here and right here, then you'd be correct. And yes, this is basically the basis of what string concatenation is. We can add on to the sentence, right? Not plus word 3. What do you think this is going to print out? Calf is also not boring. And then let's say you want to write out a paragraph, right? You have to also make sure that you have like an ending punctuation. So this might look a bit complex at first, but if you're a mathematical person, it's pretty easy. We're just combining words. And if you're not a mathematical person, it still is really simple because you're just replacing word one with what is there. So calf, and then is, and then awesome, and then not, and then boring, and then period. So yeah, thanks for watching this short tutorial on what concatenation is. There's going to be a longer tutorial on all the different types of manipulations you can do, like the basics, of course, but there's still a lot. So you better pay attention to that video. But even if you don't understand that, if you understand this, you've already got 50% of it. I'll see you in the next one.